Hey, Katrina here from Scrappy Horses. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So happy you're here. I am working in Krazy Cat Saddlebag Journal. Just sort of going through some of the items that I have collected to work in the journal for this video. This particular stencil is one that I created in Cricut Design Space. If you'd like to see that video, I will put a tab in the upper right hand corner of the screen. I will also link it below for you. This scrap piece of paper is one where I was inking some other pieces from a prior project. It was sitting on my desk and I thought I'm going to use that. I have my distressing tool. This is a scrap piece of leather I picked up in a thrift store when I was out shopping for some crafts. I've cut it in half and in half again. I have a Mylar bit tag. I have put a photo of my bit on the back. This is a picture of Jake. This is just a tag that says genuine leather. I'm not even sure what that tag is from. Probably a piece of tack, but I'm not guaranteeing it. You see me flip the tag out there. That was a prior page. I will link the pages I have done so far in the box below and you can check those out. I like putting in the tags so they flip out. That way they're out of my way while I'm working on another page in the book. I'm going to go ahead and rip this paper. And this is my favorite way to rip paper to get straight lines. Just lay that ruler down and rip. I checked the width. I needed to make it a little smaller. I just hand ripped that. So I'm going to bring that stencil in now and just mark some lines. The stencil is really easy to use. It's nice for keeping my journaling straight. I'm not very good at writing in straight lines, so I need those lines just to get the writing so it doesn't go all cattywampus. There's a word for you, cattywampus. All right, let's come in and let's look at this leather. This is an eyelet from We Are Memory Keepers. It's a wide eyelet. It is big, it is chunky, and I really like those eyelets. I'm going to go ahead and cut off a little bit of the width here. And I did sand a little bit of that leather off the back to make it a little thinner. I'm going to go ahead and chomp down here with my crocodile, and it sets it very nicely in that leather, no problem at all. Here's my tag. I'm going to come in with some twine. I'm going to use twine and go around this. I pierced a little hole in the picture that matched the hole in the tag. I have looped the twine through the eyelet as well as the tag, and now I've slipped my finger in there before I actually put the knot in, and that's going to give me that room to, again, throw the tag out of the book while I'm working on other pages. So you'll see, I'll demonstrate that here for you. See, it just moves right out of the way. So it won't be in underneath the other pages while I'm trying to write or glue things in. I'm going to go ahead and add this leather with some double score tape and some Fabric-Tac. Fabric-Tac gives me a little wiggle room if I don't get it exactly where I want it. It also will adhere it for quite a long time. All right, here is the little label. I'm going to do some second generation stamping with this horse right over the top of it. Now, what I have written here is a haiku. If you haven't ever studied poetry, or if you haven't thought about it for a long, long time, which many of us haven't, a haiku is 3 lines long with 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables, and it's usually about nature. I did mine about bits and riding horses. I've pulled a Christmas stamp here to put this in. I remembered this particular piece in this stamp set that I really liked. I'm just going to go in with that. I think it's barn red actually and not chocolate, and I'm just going to go in and stamp that down. Next, I'm going to bring in some denim and cut it. And then I decided, you know what, I'd rather go with the smaller piece of denim I'm going to end up stapling my haiku page to the top of the denim, and then I will adhere that in the book later. At this point, I'm sort of still thinking about exactly what I want to do. I'm going to move away from that while I think about it and move back over to the other page where I have my picture. I'm just inking up and distressing. And here's where I made a really fun decision. I decided to rip away at the right side. I did that because originally I thought I would put a little bit of lace underneath that. But then when I positioned it on the page, I decided I don't need the lace. Here I am putting a little bit of ink on the side of that tag just to knock off the white. Now I'm making the hole a little bit bigger, and I'm using my piercing tool just to push that twine through. It got a little more frayed than I might have liked, so I just cut that off. I'm going to go ahead and loop that through so it stays on the tag, and then I'll just cut off the end a little bit because it was a little bit long and I didn't want it running into Jake's face. So I went ahead and knocked that back a little bit. Now, here's where we can see that those flowers on the page are coming right out of that torn section. And I thought, ooh, I really like that. So I'm not going to put any lace in there. I'm going to let the paper do the creative work for me. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere that to the book with some ATG along with Fabric-Tac. I'm adding my little tag in there now. And those little pieces didn't hit Jake in the face. So that was good. Again, I'm going to adhere with some ATG and Fabric-Tac again. And I'm just going to put my haiku in now, right at the bottom of that page. I'm going to put a little snippet of that lace up under the picture. That just brings a little turquoise up over there. You can see that the page has some of that turquoise blue in it. And I just wanted to add a little more to this page just to bring the eye across with that color. All right, speaking of the color, I found this old gem and I don't even know where it came from. I think it was either from like a grab bag of stuff I picked up used or garage sale or something. And I've colored it with Copic Markers. And now I'm just going to stick it in just to give my page a little bit of bling. Now this left-hand side, I can still put something underneath that tag because it moves. I like putting tags in this way so I can flip them and I can add more underneath. This picture does flip up. I can see the size and the information about my bit if I ever want to go back and see that. And it's also just fun in the book. I have my haiku down here. And here's my picture of Jake with this old tag that I had stashed away. And that pretty much completes this particular layout. I'm going to go ahead and close up her saddlebag journal here and show you just how chunky and full this is getting. Things are sticking out all over the place, which I like. I've got threads sticking out and twine and pieces of paper, and it just really works for me as a saddlebag journal. All right, any comments or questions, leave them below. I'm happy to get back to you. I will put all the information in the box below about what I used, as well as links to the other pages in case you haven't seen them, and also a link to the saddlebag journal if you didn't see that video. All right, I'll catch up with you in the next one. Have a great week. Bye.